No. That's where the real fight's at.
I feel like I'm
The minutes.
the leader. I'm not the leader.
You are the leader, Tammy. And if anybody else
Not
wants,
the leader. What?
We gotta talk after.
Anybody else want paper?
I have a recruit, I'm recruiting someone
Here.
to come to the nursing degree, Jamie
all right. Welcome to Gen Ed, everybody. We're
from,
excited to have everybody here. Especially welcome to Josh.
Yeah.
And we have our new registrar.
Yeah.
Is it Chris?
Chris.
Chris,
Clark.
welcome, Chris.
Thank you.
Happy to have you here. You just started.
Last week?
All right. So brand new. Great.
Josh, you also brought the warm weather.
Possibly.
It's supposed to snow tomorrow.
It is.
It is?
Well,
Because I washed my car.
that's it. Or more. All right. So first order of business. Did we look over the minutes? Anyone have any issues?
Move to approve.
I second.
Okay. All in favor of approving the minutes from last meeting?
Aye.
All right. Any opposed? All right. Okay, so we were tasked with going back to our departments, talking about potential plans for what to do about general education last time, and coming up with a sweet spot between the proposal that eliminates everything that's optional for our institution and kind of the requirements you have right now. Okay, so anyone major? I'll open up to you guys. How did your departments take it? What are their thoughts on it?
Surprisingly, there wasn't much pushback or discussion about it. They were just kind of thought it was a matter of fact, but we also kind of couched it in the fact that it's hampered a lot of our programs, which we're all familiar with. So it's kind of a long time coming for us.
Okay. So that's in terms of eliminating the BAS requirements. Is that what you're talking about mostly?
Yeah, mostly.
Okay. Any others? Responses? Yeah.
So our department, generally, we would be for the BAS eliminating some of their credits, but the reality is they also have far less AA credits for the BA, the associate's degrees, than any other degree does. So we were looking, at least in the meantime, for something more along the lines of a on par credit total with all degrees. So, for example, what you would take to get a BA or a BS should be kind of the same credit amount for a BAS. That's kind of what we were standing on. The other thing we were kind of thinking about was, how urgent of an issue is this? Like, does this have to happen this year? Because one of the things that we kind of all agreed in our department was we would like to see, and I kind of suggested it, a resolution that next year we go back to the Gen Ed grid, look at how we're doing Gen Ed, look at what we're doing, look at cutting down some of those credits, because we do have more than anyone's system. We don't disagree with that. But in the meantime, making an immediate change, if we don't actually have a 90 credit degree yet, would be our concern. Was, why aren't we just doing this systematically, looking at all degrees at once?
Okay. Those are good points. Any thoughts on I kind of, is there a reason it's urgent? I haven't heard it being urgent. You told me it wasn't necessarily urgent.
I talked to you about it.
Are you talking about it?
It fits in, so what I was told from Sarah directly is that, and she's going to disseminate information back out, because she wanted to wait till the next faculty senate.
Yeah.
And I said, no, you need to get with Oscar and you need to put an email out, because if it's always in flux, it's very liminal, right? But right now it's back to moving again, from what I understood from that last conversation with Sarah. I don't know if that's ACC or if that's going to Board of Regents. I know that next month it's coming up and they have contingencies on what to do. But whatever you guys decide is going to be how they move forward.
Well, we already passed, the thing I'm confused about being urgent is we already passed the 90 credit degree. So that doesn't, this degree that might go through is already.
It's just the one class, the Phil 311.
Right, which
last
we also
conversation.
already passed as out of that grid box.
Yeah, our department thought that if that is existing as an asterisk, basically, for the time being, that it's in its own grid, if that's where it's going to be for next year if it does pass, that gives us time to look at Gen Ed as a whole.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what we would like to do. I think that is more reasonable because then we're having a discussion that's not just based on credit cuts, but is actually based on what we're doing in Gen Ed overall in terms of outcomes. It can be an outcomes-driven discussion, institutional value discussion, even looking at other models of Gen Ed, because frankly, there's probably new, better ones out there that we should be looking at anyway, because ours is kind of archaic.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's kind of where we stood, is just a resolution from the committee for this year. We're going to look at the whole thing next year. And if we have to do something for the 90, like an asterisk, it exists on its own for a year, or paring down.
But because the 90, if it gets passed, would it be in the next? There's no way it's going to be in the 26 catalog, right, Deanna?
No.
So that's not happening.
So that could be with the discussion with all of Gen Ed.
It wouldn't be until the 27 catalog with the 90 credits, which we would have to do this. And it's good. It's not bad we got started now. I mean, it's good we get started now because this gives us, we have a pretty good start on the conversation for this. But I don't know if it needs to go to faculty senate with it in March.
So now removing the 311, I can tell you what, from my position, I'm looking at the document right now. I have your document on that in front of me. And the only reason I haven't moved on it is there's a question about another class that was brought up, and I agreed to letting that class be made. And then I had somebody ask me, are they going to push that class into the spot where they remove the other class? This 206.
206.
Japanese.
6.
Yeah.
Like something or other.
So there was just a
So that's dead to move it from a 6 credit to 3.
yeah, but there was
3 credits.
there was a concern that it would be used to replace, so that students would still have to take that class. And as long as that's not the case,
They'll have to take 3 credits out of that social science box like every other BAS degree.
Right.
Which does mean that
the new class will go into that
it
grid.
means that they're going, no, there is no new class going into the grid.
Okay, then
That
that's all
would
that
take a whole
matters.
proposal to go a new class in the grid.
Then that's all that was huge.
What will have to happen for that one degree is that, and Carl knows this, Philosophy 311 will have to be replaced in that slot with a class that meets Gen Ed outcomes in that slot. So,
Yep.
but that's,
There's no contention with that.
Yeah,
I think that
that's-
the thing that I heard that came from above deans
yeah.
was that there was a question of whether that Psych 206 had the same outcomes as 311, if it somehow was a supplemental class to 311.
Right.
And that's why with the 311 thing, that's all that's going on.
Right.
with that.
Well, anyway, the 311 was passed by us last meeting. It's going through curriculum.
What's going to curricular?
Yeah, it's going to curricular review because 311 doesn't meet social science outcomes. Social science agreed last semester to pass the 90 credit degree without meeting those outcomes because it was still in the box, with the understanding that once it's out of the box, that program will make sure a course is there that meets those outcomes. And we have a list of courses there that meet those outcomes that every other program in the institution has to take.
Right.
And I don't know if there's, but yeah, we've talked about this already as a group.
Yeah. No,
Departments
just
talked
letting you
about
know
it.
the backstory, like where.
Yeah. I don't, that's certainly not a reason to change all of Gen Ed. It's one class question.
But I think George, Oscar, Dee, Eric, what do you folks think of the possibility of just looking at this systematically next year and making real changes at that point?
Other than nothing at all, procrastination is what I do best.
Okay.
I mean, so rather than make any changes to the grid now, you want to wait? What would
Just
be the
wait
benefit
until-
of that?
Well, the benefit of that is we're not making a hasty change for one program. We're actually looking at all of Gen Ed and how we're administering Gen Ed from outcomes to credit counts. Because if we make a sudden change now, we're still having every other degree has 42 credits of Gen Ed, and all of a sudden all associate's degrees will have 21. All BAS degrees will have 21 total with the associates. That's not parity, that's just slashing. And I think that needs to come with a discussion about what we actually value as an institution, what we want our students to be able to do. And that's a Gen Ed discussion. And Ethan, I'm the vice chair, which I believe means I'm chair next year.
Yeah.
So I'm saying basically, I will make sure that this gets done. And folks will be involved. I've done this before. We did the Gen Ed. I was in the last gen ed redesign, the reassessment redesign. I will happily do it again in terms of updating this, making it more equitable across all programs. I think that's important. You guys have a very strong point that you have more gen ed requirements than anybody. That's not fair. I agree with you entirely.
Only comment I would make.
Yeah, I don't see an urgency to this, so a more thoughtful approach is, I'm okay with that. I didn't know if there was a specific reason or timeline that we want, if some of these changes wanted to be made this semester or, but I hear Josh's point that it's going to affect all the programs across the board, and if we're not prepared for it, what are we going to do with those credits that are missing, or we're going to have students take classes that they don't need to, and just because it's part of our program, we wouldn't have time to update it.
Right. And at the time that this all went out, I don't think it was like some kind of state secret that that Burke Hall wanted to get this done and moving before other institutions. And unfortunately, it doesn't sound like we're going to get to reap that benefit that they were after. So I don't know if timeliness is necessarily an issue, but we've already kind of lost the...
And the 90 credit degree stands separately because we've agreed it's going to be an asterisk degree.
Yeah, and we've already passed it. Sorry, George, you had.
Yeah, go ahead, George.
Okay.
I appreciate the conversation. I think we're going in the right direction. The only comment I would make, and I totally support Josh's idea, it was my goal is that we will become leaders in general education. Because at no point in time do I want anyone to think that I don't believe in general education. I've told people if I taught people the way to do accounting, the way I was taught with all the spreadsheets, people would laugh here. But I still remember my psychology class, the guy walking in with a black Bible and throwing it across the room and bouncing it off the wall. Half the class got up and walked out. I was so dumbstruck I couldn't. I don't remember anything about it, but the last day of class, he walked in with the same book. And you could audibly hear us gasp. And he proceeded to say, what I want you to understand is you can't read people like a book. And inside the book was one of the horrible 50 Shades of Grey type books. It was just the cover of a Bible. So I would like that to be done. My concern with putting this off a year, we aren't giving departments a telegraph of what we're going to be doing. And that is literally kicking the can down the road another year.
That's why I would think we should, as a committee, do a resolution that this is going to be the agenda of the committee for next year.
Yeah, we just
And that agenda will go to faculty senate. And George, if you want to start researching that, I will jump in with you when we can see what the best models out there for gen ed are now. I'd love to know going into that discussion. So if you want to work in that,
Okay.
I can work in that with you. Absolutely. I'm happy to do it.
Well,
I mean, that's my only concern because I want departments to also start thinking.
Yeah.
I mean, and I want gen ed to be thinking about why do we do this and think critically about new ways of doing this. So that part I'm on there. That's my only mild concern.
And I think a resolution would go way towards signaling that that's our gesture
You're saying a resolution
from this committee that next
Would-
year we're looking at.
clearly telegraphed to the various departments because I've seen Deanna's work. I've watched what she's done with our business department, with the new catalog included in our website. It is absolutely awesome. She has no more capacity. She cannot do anymore.
So I
No
think,
changes can be made.
yeah. So I think that a resolution, would that signal enough, George? Do you think that this is what we're doing next year? Gen Ed is going to be looking at redesigning. We're going to see what's the best models are out there, choose what's working for the institution, whatever it might be.
Okay.
Because I think that sets the agenda, and I do want the resolution. I don't want it to just be, oh, we're going to say we're going to do it and then not do it. Let's have it in writing and let's have it to all the departments. This is what we're doing next year.
Well, and the thing about that too is that if we pass this for 26 catalog, like if we did do something hasty right now, programs can't really change till 27 anyway.
Yeah.
If we're working on it with programs in 27, that's the earliest any program can change what they're doing. I mean, if we're not actually slowing it down because the process, programs can't change till 27 catalog. So we're just saying next year we want to work with programs. We want to design a gen ed that works across programs and really think about this as an institution. And then in 27, programs could change at the same time gen ed is changing, instead of us saying, hey, everybody, we wiped off gen ed. Programs, figure out next year what you want to do. You know, which programs would then change in 27 anyway. Does that kind of make sense? So, I mean, I think people might say this, they might be like, you're stalling. We're not trying to stall. It's just a matter of, I don't see a reason to suddenly do this unless there is
Well, if you want me to,
together in 27.
if you want me to use Homer Simpson phrasing, we're not stalling. We're just not half-assing. Like, we're just not, we're not just rushing headlong into something for making the sake of making change. We're actually going to make an informed change.
Right.
And George, I agree. I think we need to do the research in terms of what's out there, what the trends are in gen ed, what's really working for students, what we need to do. I mean, we need to start looking at things like critical thinking and leadership skills, because when a lot of AI-based environments, those are going to things that get you a job. If your job right now is putting things into a spreadsheet, you're going to have problems real soon. So we need to start thinking about programming gen ed for that kind of thing.
Right. And I also think kind of looking at this credit wise, like, you know, some of these classes that are just here is like, they don't appear to have something across entry. Those are still really valuable classes. We have like technical writing classes that are in the BAS. You know, I think a class by class approach.
I think it needs to be a discussion.
We obviously need to cut. Yeah, we do need, we need to cut, especially the BAS column. I think there's a question about that because it's just a lot.
Yeah.
And we need to change it. And so I like the idea of kind of a resolution to make this the task of next year.
And we can even start doing the research, or like form a subcommittee research group this year, so we're prepared to, have models ready to talk about next year. I mean, that's very much something we can do.
Yeah, we can do that.
I think that should be built into your resolution.
Yeah, should we say that we
Show up with 3 or 4 ideas.
models?
We're going to be working on models or doing research to prepare models in the
So what's your mechanism to hold that accountable? I'm thinking broadly, because if you say we're going to do this and it doesn't happen, and we act like students who don't know how to prepare for.
I think that what we should do is Faculty Senate will be presented with at least one model of gen ed that has been vetted by departments or the committee prior to, let's say, maybe November. Would November work? Does that?
And it'll be a new committee.
Yeah, it'll be a new committee.
The leadership will change. You'll be the new chair. So yeah.
And if we're going to do a gen ed redesign, we're going to open up who sits on that discussion committee. It doesn't work if we don't have everyone represented. It's going to need to be a bit wider than what we've got
Well, I
here.
think that because we have CTE, I mean, I think that in terms of how gen ed is set up,
We should have most everyone, but at a certain point, like we might want,
we should business, but
we might need to expand a little bit.
I don't hear well.
yeah. Did you have anything more you did add?
Hear you at all?
Do you have more to add? Okay.
No, I'm pretty.
So if we had like some working models by November,
Have a model to present to Faculty Senate by November for voting.
okay.
And that gives us the rest of this year to do research, summer to research and get ready, and then jump right into building a model when we get back.
Okay.
And I don't mind with meeting with folks over the summer. If anyone's interested or around,
Bother me.
we could do it.
I'll be around and help in any way I can.
Yeah, because I don't mind doing this over the summer. If this is, to be fair, I'd actually liked working this over the summer, so we're not starting all of it in September, because that's insanity.
Well, we might be able, depending on how big of a change, because one of the things that this white paper brought up is like really looking into entry requirements. We can only really be flexible here on this page. Like the entry requirements are what they are.
And we have to work with those, but
and we have to do within those. But is there something when we're looking at these ones? What
Yeah.
we're going to do?
Well, and we should also look at the associate's level of differentiating more between an associate's degree and science associate's degree arts. I mean, they're so similar. I think we need to breaking those up a little bit.
Well, I don't mean to leave halfway through. I just want to make sure this was covered, but double booked and have it 2:00. So
Yeah. Thank you, Dean.
yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Very good.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Is there any questions for anybody about this? Does that sound like a good plan? I think maybe did anybody I mean, I want to dig on the research a little bit this year and just start looking into models. I'll be in talk with Josh and we'll be coming with George. Does anybody else want to like dig into gen ed models? I mean, I want it to be open to everyone who wants to do some work and think about this to be like, hey, I looked at this model or that model and I thought this was great. Or, you know, I've looked at, for instance, when I was doing this, I was looking at those other 90 credit models at those other institutions. Like, okay, this is their model. They have a lower associates model and an upper model, or, you know, they lower and upper. I mean, is anybody interested in doing this outside of me, Josh? And it's okay. You're not having.
I think you should voluntold those, like, I mean, the essence of this committee is the departments that have a vested interest in those gen ed courses. So I know for teacher ed,
Oh yeah, that's true.
we're not.
Right.
So I would like to say, yes, I would love to cover the intricacies of new models.
I think it is universal from all of the ones that aren't teaching programs that you definitely want us to cut back on credit requirements, right? That's helpful to all of your programs. If we're,
It is, yeah.
we're able to do that. And we're committed to doing that. So that's that's something that we're going to do.
I don't think any of us disagree that what we have currently is unreasonable.
Yeah. So that's at least we've gotten to that point in this semester, which is good headway to make, I think. You know, but it feels like I just don't want to get out that like they stalled or they kicked it away because they don't want to do something. It's like, no, we've come to a good place. We all agree.
We just don't want to be hasty.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the idea because so many times things are, a lot of people feel like it's shoved down their throat and get this done right now, or you have a week to get it done or a month to get it done. And I really like,
At least
We're gonna
have
take our
research
time.
behind this.
yeah, right. Right. And so we can support decisions with the research.
We'll know what the best practices are. Like
Right.
what is innovative in gen ed right now? What is going to be useful 5 years down the road, as opposed to what are we just making a change or making the fly to get this to function?
Yeah, I feel like it's a systematic development, right?
Yeah.
It's not just like focus on one thing, it's a systematic, development and a change or design, yeah.
I mean,
Count me in, I will be,
yeah,
I will join in for the summer thing.
because our gen ed kind of right now is a ship of Theseus. Like it's just been built with pieces over and over again and changed with pieces over and over again. And like, what's the boat now? Like how much of the boat's still there?
And if you forget that now, just feel like a new, like, here's a new, you know,
Yeah.
what's this? Yeah.
There's so many new boards, it may not be the same boat as we started with anymore.
And that's, I think, the problem with how it is right now. Is it's
Yeah.
like when you look at it, you're like, why is this like this? And then you start talking to people, and everyone's got their own institutional history of how we got here. I'm like, okay, I don't.
It's like, yeah, we picked up that
Hey, we got-
mast over here when the other one fell off.
I understand why this is here, but we need to figure out what to do with it now. So I kind of agree with rebuilding the whole ship, or not, you know, figuring out what to keep, what to do. So
Because the more we change and it's just natural drift of the more we change the grid based upon just special circumstances, the farther we get from the intentions that were originally there in the first place. It just drifts.
right, and the easier it is, just be like, this doesn't make sense at all. All of it, you know.
Yeah.
It's easy when something doesn't make sense to be like, maybe this whole ship should do. What is wrong with this thing, you know? Instead of like, let's just streamline it so everything makes sense and we understand how it's functioning.
Well, I mean, also we're at the point now, like, what is a technological proficiency these days? Like we talked about that last meeting.
Right.
Like, what is technological proficiency these days? Is it the ability to fill out a spreadsheet or is it the ability to use AI? Like, what are we talking about in terms of technological proficiency? So I think that we need to just look in general at some of those things.
That sounds good. Okay, so we're passing a resolution that we're gonna.
Research models, best practices for, or whatever how you want to phrase it, innovative or best practice for gen ed that creates more efficiency than the current model. Because I think efficiency is that credit cut that people are going to want to see, and also ensures that what we're doing for gen ed is effective into the future or however many years, like whatever it's going to be. But I think we need to emphasize we're going to do the research. So it's not just going to be a hasty change, that we will have outcomes, that there will be models ready by, let's say, November. I think that's a good time frame, and that research will be ongoing, and that it's going to be handled by a committee. And there will be also, we've got a process in place to vet it.
All right.
And if the 90 credit degree comes up, we can just go back to that's its own little asterisk category right now anyway, and we'll integrate it into the grid when that becomes larger discussion
Yeah,
comes
and,
into
and like it won't be initial 27,
it. Yeah.
right? So it's like this,
Well, I don't know if they're planning to offer it, even if it's in the catalog or not. Like, I don't know.
but they couldn't offer till spring. Am I right, Deanna? I don't think they,
27 spring is, I think, when they want to offer.
right. So that would technically be part of the 26 catalog, but for that one semester, it would just be an asterisk.
That would just say BA, they're giving it a different name, I think, than a BAS. I think they're applying something to it from what I heard Dean say, like it's going to be an accelerated or something like that.
I kind of remember that too.
Yeah, it's going to have some sort of different
Yeah.
name. Like they're putting some sort of tag on it, I think, to
Dean
different.
was intimating though that Enchi was pushing back on it now, even though they initially gave their blessing. That
Well, I think Dean was intimating it's going again because they were pushing back last time, and I think now that's getting more traction. But I think the issue, what Dean was pointing out, is we're not going to be first like we were hoping to be. I think CSN's probably going to go at the same time, is what I'm guessing.
But I don't see how Gen Ed slows us. Gen Ed doesn't, we're not slowing that down, right?
No, because it does exist in that asterisk.
Because that's
but-
kind of that's what I feel like all the urgency about is that we're slowing down some kind of change. I don't see how anything we're doing is slowing down the change because
now we've
already green lighted
Yeah.
it.
we already green lighted it and now we're going to change Gen Ed so we can do more of this kind of thing if we need to. It's
Yeah.
just, we couldn't put a bunch of programs in before the 27 catalog anyway. So I don't see, anyway, I don't want to get accused of like, you guys are trying to slow down our,
No, I was just pointing out that if
Right.
that's what the issue is, if that was the impetus for making all these changes so quickly, then that's already been addressed.
yeah. And I think if we get a request to change Gen Ed in February and we get them a really solid package by November, it's a huge success for Faculty Senate in terms of time. That's fast. We have that's like 3 Faculty Senate meetings to figure this out. I don't know. I just,
And I think very easily by November, we could have something like this.
yeah.
We might not by November have all the classes filled out, but we'll have this. That part will be
Yeah.
the next
We
step
know
is
what we
filling
want
in
to
the
do
classes.
and the programs, and we can be talking to programs too the whole time. Say,
Yeah.
these are the things you have to cut, and departments say these are classes you may need to offer.
Yeah, this is
Start offering these classes instead of these classes, because a sudden change like this would.
because when the outcomes change, it's going to change the classes in general. I think some of our outcomes will probably change in that discussion. I think technological proficiency outcome is probably going to change.
Yeah, I think that one will probably change. I've heard rumblings out to pretty much change some. All right. Okay, we have a resolution. And anyone want a motion to approve?
I'll motion to approve.
Oh, second.
All right, all in favor of the resolution?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, I will type up the resolution and I will send it out because verbal and written don't always match up. And if anyone sees a problem with the resolution I type up, like I did not agree to this, then please just let me know so we can get it right. Or if you feel like there's something I need to add.
I'll put some loopholes in it for Ethan.
Yeah, we've got writers here, but
Yeah, we're good at finding loopholes in the language. That's our gift.
I'll write it out. Josh can clean it up if it's a little bit messy or if I miss something like words here and there. But I think that the spirit of what we're trying to do here is pretty evident to everybody. And I think it's gonna be great. I think we'll have a really Gen Ed will get better. Students will be better served for this. So appreciate everybody's work. And yeah, we'll start working on this right now. Maybe we can next meeting even have a few ideas out about different models and start
Yeah.
talking about it.
Looking around.
It could come before November, honestly. If we feel like there's a really solid path forward, then maybe we present something sooner and programs can immediately start thinking about what they're going to do. So
We need to locate institutions, I think, too, that are similar to ours in as much as we're such a weird hybrid of four-year degree granting institution that has a tech school built into it and also a community college in it.
Yeah.
So I think we should maybe like look at Colorado Rockies or whatever, like some of those large spanning institutions that do offer multiples, or maybe look at University of Alaska, which I think has similar components.
Yeah.
But I think that might be a good idea.
I agree, because none of the other institutions are quite like us in Nevada.
No.
They either offer like one BAS and a bunch of AAs, or they're just BA and BS. So it's hard to know how.
Isn't there a national organization of community colleges that do offer baccalaureates?
There might be, because I mean, we're kind of a chimera. Like we offer BA and BS degrees, which most community colleges absolutely do not do.
Right. So yeah, it's
But we're like halfway between a teaching school and a tech community college.
which is actually what makes this an awesome school. I think that's like the coolest.
It's a lot of fun. I mean, we get a lot of stuff, but it does cause like these.
It's like, who are we modeling?
Yeah.
You know, what are we trying to look like? So, all right. Well, I think that's all we got, guys. Thanks for coming. It was a great meeting. Look how early we are. 35 minutes.
Oh, anytime less than an hour is always a great meeting.
I thought this was gonna be like a really long meeting. Got an afternoon making great papers. Woohoo! Student writing about Jay's rebellion coming up.
Did you say student writing or AI writing?
Oh,
Which
fuzzy. I'm not sure. To keep myself happy, I tell myself it's always student writing. I don't want to think about a computer